Joining us is Kenda Woodburn, and she is the horticulture educator for Tulsa County and Osage County. And Kenda, you've got some research. We are at the Mingo Valley Research Station here in Bixby, and you've got a lot of research going on. Can you share with us what you're looking at on these blackberries?
Yes, this is a replicated study of blackberries. We have 12 different varieties, and what our goal is to look at the standard varieties we know do well in Oklahoma, the Osage and the Washita, and compare it to some of the new varieties out of Oregon and some of the other research stations. We have Black Magic out here and Black Diamond, and what we're looking at is how cold hardy they are, how much they withstand the hot Oklahoma summer, how soon they fruit, what yield they have, and also see maybe might be some built-in insect resistance in them, because we know that in different plant populations that insects will selectively feed more in one variety than the other. So this will kind of show us what's going on.
Okay, so your controlled are basically the traditional recommended varieties, but we've got new varieties that you're testing, and all of this is so that we can continue to update our fact sheets that we provide to people.
Yes, because everything OSU is supposed to present to the commercial growers and to homeowners is fact-based, and so we try to maintain research plots out here at the Mingo Research Station, so growers and homeowners can come out and see if they actually like the plant we're growing and see how healthy it is.
So I see that you're growing it on white plastic here. What are some of your other controlled methods for the weeds and diseases and stuff?
What we mainly be doing right now is mechanical controls, because we're trying to look at integrated pest management and use as least insect sprays and herbicides as possible, because I have a wide clientele. Some are organic growers and some are follow all the conventional spraying, and I'm trying to walk a line between the two so we can kind of know. So we're only trying to spray or use herbicide or insecticide when it's absolutely necessary. Part of what we're going to do is put out insect traps next year. There's some insects like spotted-winged Drosophila that's really hit our state berry crop hard, and also look at stink bugs and selective feeding, because like I mentioned earlier, the insects tend to selective feed on certain varieties more than others. So we'll kind of find that out.
So Kenda, when did you plant these blackberries? Well,
we planted them in June 2015, but the preparation for this started actually 4 years ago, because when we first got our research plots here, the organic matter was very low. So first we put in cover crops to build the soil, and we also reduced whatever weed population was out here. And so the first main crop, we had some fruit this year, but not enough really for a main harvest, just to kind of do observational research on and see how they did. And then next year will be our first main harvest. And so we'll plan on harvesting these for up to maybe 5 years. There are some insects that can get in here and kind of wipe out the plants after that, but we're hoping to avoid those like the redneck cane borer and crown borer and everything. But before we can release one of the fact sheets, we need at least 2 good years of data. And it can be observational, but I prefer observational plus replicated, because that's statistically, you can analyze it statistically.
So I know you just updated the fact sheet last year. So in a couple of years, you'll be using this research to then update it once again.
Yes, myself and Becky Carroll and Dr. Hillebrand, we all updated that fact sheet, and we looked around the state, saw what the growers were doing well with, what was being marketed. And so we did add some new varieties like the Osage we saw in the Washita, and the Natchez were doing quite well.
And who else is helping you collect all this data?
Irvin Bellamy has been helping me. We're also looking at some of the master gardeners, and just we're hoping to get some graduate students in here to work from the university, because it would be very beneficial for them to have this hand-on experience. And also, I have different homeowners and people that have said, we'd like to come help you collect data. So I'm going to call on them, and it would be really good. And what we've done with some of the fruit, in the past is in other places where I've worked, some went home with the people that helped in the plots. That's their thank you, and other went to like the Eastern Food Bank and different charities. So that's what we're hoping.
Now, we're not just doing research on blackberries here. You also have some research on some peach trees and some apple trees.
Yes, and I'm setting it up in the same way. We have replicated studies in case somebody wants to do a journal article on these. We're looking at disease-resistant apples and seeing how they'll do, and against a standard. So I have some varieties like Liberty and Liberty Apple, and then Williams Pride, and comparing it to Arkansas Black, which we know will grow here. and Molly's Delicious that will grow here. And I wanted people to actually see some of the varieties that are being offered in the nurseries, because you don't see a lot of these in the supermarket.
Right.
And then also the peach varieties, I'm testing some of the low acid peaches from France has released a couple, the white acid, low acid peaches, and we're going to add some from Arkansas to that study. So all these studies will be added on to through the years.
So I know a lot of times homeowners are curious, or growers are curious about the latest and greatest, and basically what you're doing here is taking that and really researching to see whether it does well specifically in Oklahoma.
Yes, and of course we are in zone 7A, 6B, so it'll be mainly geared toward this, but we do know from other states whether or not it'll translate down a little bit south or a little bit north, so at least it'll give us a starting point.
Excellent. And you also have a big field here in between us and the peach trees over there. You got plans for that as well.
Yes, I've been asked about honeyberries. Honeyberries is a really cool berry crop that is very high in nutrition. It's got a very good flavor profile. Some of them don't do so well in the high heat, but we don't know which ones yet. Okay. We know there's a breeder in Arkansas that's working with them, so I'm going to try some of their varieties that are there, and there's some from Saskatchewan we're going to try, and then Oregon. And put these out and test those. Are also jujubes, which we know do well in Oklahoma. Most of the varieties, there's only 4 that I know of, but the ones that I've seen do well here. And then also looking at pawpaw trees, and Kentucky State University is where I'm going to test some of their varieties and see how they do here.
Excellent. Thank you for joining us, Kenda, and sharing your research with us.
You're welcome.
We hope you enjoyed this video. It's part of our Oklahoma Gardening YouTube channel. You can also find even more videos on our OK Gardening Classics YouTube channel. And join us on social media for great gardening tips, photos, and discussion.